Hey guys, how you doing? Steve Lav here. I'm gonna do a little question and answers. It's Sunday, October 1st. Well, it's probably about 2:30 in the afternoon. Been working around the place here and doing stuff around the yard and whatnot. And I didn't have any working videos, so do a little question and answers. I've been busy. Just sometimes you just can't record the videos. Either homeowners there or just you know it's not a ideal setup to do the recording. So I try to record all my work if I can, but sometimes I just can't. But anyway, just try to answer a couple of questions that I get here, and I sometimes I can't respond to all the comments I get. It gets overwhelming. So sometimes I get asked things more than once. I'll do these little question and answer videos and try to respond. I would like to be able to respond to every comment that I get, but it's just too much sometimes, and I just can't do it. I don't have the time. If I had the time, I would do it. The keto diet, I've been off for a while. I'm gonna cycle on and off that ketogenic diet. It definitely works. I have put quite a bit of the weight back on, but get back on the keto diet, man, I drop it like nothing. I get this question asked of me a lot. What makes a good technician? Well, it depends on what you're doing, what kind of field you're in. I dabble in a lot of different stuff. I do plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. I don't do refrigeration. I just don't have room for all the different refrigerants in the truck, and my truck is set up for a certain thing, and that's what I do. I stay in that arena, uh, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning, and it gives me a good variety. I enjoy my job. I really do enjoy it, and you know, I make a good living at it. Uh, what do I like better? Plumbing, heating, or air conditioning? I like them all. They all have good and bad. I like them all. I like the variety. Um, I like doing plumbing. Sometimes it's challenging. Some guys don't like doing it. I do. I like heating. I do oil, gas, and I like the AC too. So it all has its season. Come winter time, there's no more air conditioning work, so it's all switched over to heating end of it. I do a lot of hydronic. But anyway, I'm getting off subject here. What makes a good technician? Well, I think you need to, for me anyway, going in and people call me, they got no heat or their plumbing's a problem. When you walk into a job, you got to make sure, be careful what you're tackling. You don't want to open up a can of worms a lot of times with this stuff. So when I go in there and I look at something, they're calling me in to fix it. Well, it's not my problem to begin with. I'm there to try to fix it for them. Sometimes you can't fix it, you got to replace it. It all depends. But a good technician will go in there and not open up a can of worms. You know, uh, if they need a new boiler and it's leaking all over the place, you tell them, well, I might be able to put boiler seal in it and get you another month or so before you can save the money to replace it. I think that's what makes a good technician is thinking on your feet and not opening up a can of worms. Because you go in, they call you in to fix something, and you make it worse. Well, you might be eating a shit sandwich there on that one. So you have to be careful with that. People ask me also about the Zoom lock. I've been getting a lot of questions about the Zoom lock. What do I think about it? I think it's a good tool. I think it has its place. I don't own a Zoom lock or a ProPress, but I think that there's a call for it in certain applications. I got nothing bad to say about the tool. I got friends of mine that have it and use it, and they really like it. Couple of drawbacks: the fittings are expensive. Just for the Zoom lock, R22 and 410A has different fittings. So if you're gonna be doing Zoom lock and you're gonna be working on a 22 system, you have to get the proper fittings for the 22. Compared to the 410A, I guess because of the chlorine in there, it's different. It's different fittings, different O-rings or whatnot. So you have to be careful. The ProPress has been around for a long time. A lot of small commercial guys will swear by it. That's where it will shine. Small commercial job, because a small commercial job. I work in a lot of houses. Say you got a hospital and you got to shut the 4-inch main off and cut a 2-inch main, and you got to cut a T into that thing. Well, you got to drain down 3 floors. It might take you all day to do that. With the ProPress, you can kind of cut it, put the ProPress fitting in there, press it, and press a T in there with a valve, and be done with it. So that's where I think that they really shine. As far as me doing residential work, I don't know. I don't. For me, I've been soft soldering and brazing for so long. I probably wouldn't get it because the price of the fittings. I think they're a little high, and but I got nothing bad to say about it. For me, I probably wouldn't get it. Maybe I'm just old school. I definitely wouldn't do shock bite. I think that's a bad idea. I've seen shock bites blow apart. I've seen shock bites leak. Over time, a shock bite fitting, a cheap little plumbing shock bite fittings leak. I definitely would stay away from that. That's more like a homeowner, a Home Depot, Lowe's type of repair fitting. I would not use that. I get this other question a lot. What do I think about what's going on with a couple of the different guys that been arguing or fighting on YouTube? And I'm friends with them all, so I don't have an issue with anybody. As far as the swearing goes, it's probably not the best idea to be swearing on YouTube. I have done videos where I was swearing, and it's not something I try to do. Not something if I do swear once in a while, I do once in a while. I don't like doing it. I try to change and stop that. I don't think it's a good idea to be swearing on any social media, because you're kind of limiting yourself. Say a father has his 2-year-old daughter or 2-year-old son on his lap and watching your video, and here you are swearing up a storm and dropping the F-bombs. Well, that's not cool, because now the guy can't watch it because of the kids there. So you're kind of limiting yourself to the people that are going to be watching. Oh, some guys will say, well, that's how I am. Well, maybe you are like that, but you should probably try to clean your act up and stop the swearing. It's not cool. It don't make you a tough guy. I don't think swearing on YouTube or any social media is a good idea. I try not to do it. If I'm doing a video and a customer of mine is swearing up a storm, I'll cut all that out because I don't want that in my videos. A lot of times trade schools will watch the videos. And I had a bunch of guys from trade schools, teachers, say that, my students watch your videos all the time. They're not going to be watching them if you're throwing F-bombs here and there and just being rough around the edges or whatever. It's probably best to clean that up. That's my opinion. I'm not speaking for nobody. I'm just saying what I think is the best route to take. If you swear all the time, if you got a 2-year-old daughter, do you want it to grow up like that? Probably not the best thing. So, and I get this other question a lot is, why do I have chickens and ducks? Well, I get enjoyment out of raising these animals. They're very comical. I spend a lot of time, and I got a lot of different resources that I get free bread, and there's free meat and free salad scraps, and I prepare all this stuff for the chickens and ducks, and they live a good life over here. I get enjoyment out of raising these chickens and these ducks and feeding them and locking them up at night and picking up the eggs, and I sell eggs. I give a lot of the eggs away to like the guys that give me the bread and the meat and stuff. I give them eggs. They give me this other stuff that offsets my feed bill. And I just get a lot of enjoyment out of raising them. It's been like a hobby for me. It's an expensive hobby. It costs. Definitely not making any money feeding these guys because and I try to find different alternative feed form, or apples. Like this time of year, all the apple orchards are producing apples, so I'll hit up these apple orchards around here and maybe give the guy some eggs and get some apples that are maybe on the ground or something. I've got a couple of bad spots, and then I'll grind them up. I'll mix it with their feed. I get peaches and watermelons and all kinds of stuff. Pumpkins are going to be coming up pretty soon. It's October, right? I'll be getting pumpkins, and I'll be cooking them buggers up and mixing them with their feed. So it's a hobby for me. I'm not doing it for the money. I made a lot of money in my lifetime, and I'm pretty much just coasting along here at this point, and kind of picking and choosing my jobs and doing that. But I just wanted to do a little, question and answer videos. Haven't done one in a while, and just some of the stuff to try to answer some of the questions. I wish I could respond to every comment that comes through, but I just got so much going on. I'm busy, and a lot of times to edit these videos, sometimes it takes me a couple hours to edit one video. I haven't had any videos that I could cut up in working videos to cut up. I had a couple of good jobs over the weekend, but the homeowner was right there watching me, so I wasn't able to. I was in a tight spot, and sometimes running the camera is not it's not feasible. Because you're in a tight spot and you're working. But some of these jobs I come across, it's unbelievable. But what makes a good technician? Know when to hold them and know when to fold them, just like the card player would say. And don't go in there like a gangbuster and start ripping and tearing things and make things worse. You're going in there to fix it. You make sure you pick your battles. You don't want to pick a fight with someone that's going to give you a beating, right? You have to be careful, going in there. Well, you're going to need to replace this before you start opening up a can of worms. Make sure that you can handle the job. You got the stock in the truck. You start ripping apart a 4-inch cast iron pipe because it's leaking all over the place. You have the fittings in the truck to take care of the job, or you got to go get them first. You have to be careful. I think that's what makes a good technician is experience. That's another thing, experience. But that comes with time. It's like a welder. What makes a good welder? Well, 20 years under the hood welding every day makes a good welder. If you just went to school for a year, you're not going to be as good as the guy that's been doing it for 20 because he's had all that experience. Experience is very important when it comes to a technician. If the guy's 30 years old, compared to a guy that's 50, most likely the guy that's 50 has got more time, in the trade, and he's run across more problems. I'm not saying he's a better mechanic, but more or less, most of the time, the guy that has more experience overall should be a better mechanic. Not saying that he is. There's a lot of young guys that are very smart, and I respect them a lot. But anyway, guys, just a little quick question and answer video. I didn't have nothing to post today, so I'm just trying to clear up a couple of these questions I get asked a lot. And all right, guys, have a good weekend, and more videos to come this week.
Oh, look what it is! It's the baby dog. Gonna do a little baby, gonna do a little doggy dance. Oh yeah, you're doing a little doggy dance. Let's see you do it. Oh, there it is. There's the dance. There's the dance. There's my doggy dance. Oh, yeah. That's my buddy, man. She's a proud master HVAC technician, she is. Proudly wearing the patches, mama. Oh, yeah. What is that? Huh? Doing a little dance? Doing a little doggy dance? You're gonna tip it. You're gonna tip it, man. You're gonna tip it. You're gonna tip it. Come on. Let's go, push over. There it is, she is. Let her rip, potato chip, man. Oh, yeah. Let her rip, man. Let her rip. Push over. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, man. Let's go. That's the baby dog, man. She's neck level. Oh, yeah, she's neck level. She's got a little tongue action happening. Let's see the little tongue action. Oh, yeah. She's got the little tongue action. She's a proud master HVAC technician, she is. Oh, mama. She's a proud master.